Okay, so here's a video, right? One of the things that I noticed, and these lights, I have crystal balls hanging from my tiny little crystal figures hanging from my windows, and they shoot out lights, see, all over the place. Up on my ceiling, you can see some of them, so I've got these pretty rainbow shards all over the place. But I just started scanning my Facebook, right? And as I'm scanning my Facebook, I come across an article, and I'm not a big Facebook person because it's just so flippin' dramatic. No matter what you do, no matter what you're talking about, no matter who you like, people you have never met before are ready to fight and box it out online in a chat. So I'm usually I try to be careful about what I want to share and say on Facebook, because it's just high school all over again, and it's horrible sometimes. So from time to time I see these articles, especially local news. I don't care about cable news and big media mass baloney markets, but I try to keep up with the local news, right? And there's these posts that the news will put out, and some of them are just like if you were having coffee or tea out with your friends, and somebody brought the topic up, and this particular topic was rent being through the roof, which everybody is talking about, but the scam of how these landlords and these management companies are literally paying their bills because they're charging everybody $100 application fee, and then they're not returning the application fee. This is what I'm talking about, though, for stuff to talk about, right? I immediately made a small comment. I do that from time to time, and I tend to have these comments that start trouble. I'm a troublemaker. And most of the time it's just common sense comments that I make. But like this time, so, this is what's going on in Las Vegas, right? Rents are going through the roof. They chose COVID. This happened to me. Let me tell you this story, right? Okay, so I have my glass. I don't know if I should. I've had people send me messages that say, take your glasses off. You're much more engaging. I can't see. I have been wearing glasses since I was a little girl, and I can't see without them. But so this rent crazy stuff, right? My dad, my father, probably died from COVID. We don't know for sure, but my dad was really sick, and he passed away in March 2020, right before the COVID lockdown began. So I was already in Georgia at the time that COVID lockdown began, and the lease, we've been in this same place for about 10 years. And I told him the day we moved in, I said, I am not leaving. I am so sick of moving. I am never moving again. I want to stay right where I am. So you guys are stuck with me. And they know me well, in that we've had a change of management companies. But, I'm feeling really blessed because we've been here for so long, right? And so 2 years ago, I'm out after my father's funeral. I'm with my mom, and we're out doing something related to my troublemaker little brother. And my phone rings, and it's my management company. And she says, your lease is going to be expiring in about 3 months, and we're going to be raising the rent, and if you're not okay with that, then you're going to have to do month to month. And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, hold up. For starters, I told you that I left town because my dad died. So like, here we are a week later, and you're calling me up and telling me, wait, what? Let's start over. And she's like, oh, sorry about the bad timing, but we're raising your rent $1,200, $100 a month. And if you want to stay with us, you'll have to sign the lease by blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, you can go to month, but then it'll be like $300 or $400 a month more. And I was like, I told you once, guys, I ain't going anywhere. This is the old management company that did this. Not the new one's actually kind of pretty good. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever, COVID lock. And this was the day that Nevada did the COVID lockdown. They chose the day that everybody got put out of work to call me up, knowing that I had just buried my father, to tell me that rent was going up $1,200 a year, $100 a month. Okay, fine, I ain't going anywhere. Fine, whatever. Send it to me. Let's sign it. 1 year goes by, and same management company right before they switched management. This one's new. One freaking year, one year goes by and my phone rings. Sandra, yeah, hi. The property values are not equal to the rents. I'm sorry, what? No, because of property value. Oh, you're right. And you're like waiting for them to give you this stupid, by the way, we're raising your rent speech, and they want to make it sound all fancy. And she tells me again, we're going up another $1,200. I was like, wait, we just went up $1,200 last year. So now we're up $200 in 2 years, right? $200. I'm terrified to see what's going to come at the end of this year, because I'm like really kind of hoping something changes in the world, because it's ridiculous how they can get away with this. But my bigger complaint about that, I think, is that it's because COVID was forced on us. All these people were forced out of work, forced to stay home, and now all of a sudden, without any help at all, not real help, we're all supposed to jump back in and get back to normal and come up with all these extra hundreds of dollars after not working the way we have for the last 2 years, and pay higher everything, right? So this news story that my local Fox channel just put out a few minutes ago was about a teacher. And this one touches my heart as a teacher. A local Clark County school teacher here in Las Vegas doesn't qualify to rent. Rent, you have to have 3 times the amount of whatever the rent is and that you make in salary. This is a teacher. And you know, let's make the assumption that this teacher is on the lowest end of the pay scale and making what, 40 to 48,000 if they're lucky. Some of them I think are as low as 36,000 a year. But even then, you have to make 3 times the amount of rent, and rent is insane right now. And everybody has gone crazy when it comes to prices. Like everything's just so out of control. But so this teacher, the news story is about a teacher who has to live in her car, live in a car, because the teacher has spent $1,000 in application fees. That means at $100 a pop, she's applied for what? 10 different places to live and been turned down at 10 places. Here's the kicker though, right? The application fees don't get returned. What is that? Like, where do we live? What kind of country do we live in that is so based on greed that something like an application fee for a service or a property that you are not going to get isn't returned to you? That's a scam, and we all know it. We're Americans. We know scams. And this one is such an easy fix. This is an ordinance that the politicians, our local reps, just need to get together and say, you know what? If you take an application fee and the person is not approved, they get the money back. You only get to retain the application fee if they get approved, right? And application fees shouldn't exist anyway. What is the cost of that? What is it that they're trying to charge you for? Because if it's your rental credit report, you can get a copy of that. If it's your standard credit report, you can get a copy of that for free annually too. So there's all these baloney costs, and they call it an application fee. And what it is it's a way to get 10 people to come in the door and make $1,000, and now the landlords and the management fees can pay their bills and cover until they find the perfect person they want to rent to. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. They just should not. You shouldn't be out $100 because you got told no. Like, you're not getting anything. There's no return for the money that you paid. You're putting forward this money, you're getting absolutely nothing in return. And that, it just shouldn't happen. The simple fix to that, and to open the door for people to really be able to rent again, is to ask them to give the application fees back. There's no reason. Even if you qualify for the property, you shouldn't have to pay an app fee unless that fee is going towards documents that cost maybe $3.50 total that the company paying. They're making a big profit off of those application fees. And it's wrong, man. We're all in this boat. We've all been in 2-year COVID hell together. And now to take these money-making schemes and apply them to places where people need to live, like, what is going on? I don't get it. But anyway, so that's today's news story that I complained about. And I truly believe that if we just get on the horn and we start calling our local representation and we start demanding that they give a crap, they might, you know. That is our job as constituents, as citizens, to crawl up their butts and yell. So that was my kind of rant, I guess, over a news story that seems to be affecting a lot of people. So thank you for hanging out. And as I figure out how to do all these videos, I promise I'll make them better. Thank you for spending time with me today. I'll see you next time. Bye.